Hello, my name is Jimmy Vegas and welcome to this, the fifth in a series of video tutorials for Unity 5. Okay, so last episode, if you remember, we ended up with this big pool of water just over here and we made this path up to it and played around with a few different colours. So this episode, what we're going to be looking at is changing this big pool of water and making it a sort of river down here. We'll be putting a bridge across the river and we'll also play around with some trees. So firstly, what we're going to do is I'm actually going to lift this village up a little bit. So as we have, we can lift up the terrain around it. So nice and simple. Just select both buildings just here. Let's quickly check our snap settings. They're set to 0.5. So if I'm going to change my snap settings all back to 1 just to make things a little easier. Hold Control and just shift up a bit. So I'll put them about there, floating in mid-air just for now. So next we need to raise the terrain around that village. So let's go to terrain and then let's raise. I'm going to use, let's use this one by default. So let's change the brush size to 100. Change the opacity to about 30-ish. And let's see what that looks like now. Okay. Not happy with that. Let's use this bigger one. Okay, that'll do. That's better. So I'm just going to raise a little bit more around here. Let's have a look. I want to, like I say, raise the general area around the village. Let's do there. Actually, I think we'll put the river this side, so we have two lots of water. Let's do one more raise, just about there. Okay, so all the area around here is now raised. I think actually, let's raise the village area just one more. So we've got a few bumpy bits, so let's smooth that out with our smoothing tool. Go. It helps if we use the right one. So let's just smooth all this out. I think that should do. Okay, so now I'm going to focus on putting these back onto the ground. So about there, I think. Let's zoom. Is that down on the ground? Let's have a look and see. Not quite on the ground. So let's select our two buildings and let's bring them down to the ground. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to bring our first person controller back into the village because if you remember, we put it all the way over there. So we just need to bring it back this way. I think that's about right, isn't it? Oh, no, we're a bit below the terrain there. Just need to drag ourselves up a bit and across a bit to about, is that right? Oh, almost. There we go. Let's put ourselves there. So let's press play just to make sure we are in around the right place. Okay, that's fine. Right, so let's build our river. So like I say, we'll build it. Where should we build it? So we want to build it around the village somewhere. I think for convenience, I'm actually going to build it here. I know it's the third time I've changed it, but we'll build it here. It looks a nice stretch to build our river. So, onto our terrain. We want to lower the terrain, so we need to hold shift when we lower. So let's set our brush size to let's see, 17, I think. Should we set to 17? So if we hold shift and then click to lower, you'll notice a dent starts appearing in our terrain. So you can shape your river however you want. So I'm just doing it like this for now. So I'm not going to make the river go all the way along. I'm actually going to change the course of the river just here. So I just quickly need to take this and just bring it. Shift. Let's bring it this way a touch. So for now we have a sort of a river shape going on. So that's what we need. And if you remember, we need to put in from the standard assets the water, its environment, water, and in prefabs. So just here, just need to drag and drop water there. So now we need to expand it. So we'll change the scale. Let's have a quick look. So we need to change it on the x-axis. We're going to make it longer. So let's put this as 50. Is 50 too much? No, 50 is not enough. So we need to change it a little bit more. 60. Let's move it across a bit. So for now, we just need to make sure that the water stretches from where you started your river to where you've ended your river. That looks about right. Just need to change the Z or Z axis a little. So we'll put this as 25. That needs a little more. So let's change that to 30. That looks fine. So I'm going to drag this down onto the terrain, and you'll notice as you drag down it slowly forms your riverbed. Right, so we need to do a little bit of adjusting, I think. Okay, so I'm going to leave my river like that just for now. So let's press play. And let's go inspect our river. That's fine. So now let's do a quick little bit of painting on our terrain. Let's see. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to level out this bit and make it a bit straighter. You'll see why when we get to making the bridge. It will make sense. Okay, so let's paint a bit. So you can paint however you want. It is entirely up to you. I'm painting just the edge of my riverbed. Just here. All the way around here. It's not perfect, but it does give the impression of being a river. So like I say, you can paint however you want. It is entirely up to you. It is your game after all. I'm just showing you different things. Last bit just here. Okay. So that looks okay. I'm not going to spend too much time trying to make it look perfect. there's other things that can be done. Okay, so that'll do right there. So next thing we want to do is put a bridge across here. So in your assets folder, we need to create a folder, and I'm just going to call this one Objects. Ooh, let's rename that. Caps lock on there. Okay, Objects, and then go into your Object folder. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to import an object into Unity. This folder can be brought straight into Unity here. Now this folder contains all the assets we need for a bridge, and that can be downloaded from our website for free. So if you go into the description for the video, have a look for our website, click it, and then you'll be able to find this asset on our website. Chances are you'll get this at the bottom. 3ds Max could not be found. You need to go on the console and just clear it. It's nothing to worry about. It's just because this particular asset was made in 3D Max, and well, if you've got 3D Max, then that probably won't appear. I don't have 3D Max. This asset was actually made for me. Okay, so what you'll need to do is if you go into that Stonebridge folder, and you'll see this. It's called Bridge. It gets a little bit tricky here, as of the way the asset was made, but it's easy to manipulate in the end. So if you drag and drop, you'll notice the scale of it is huge. It's massive. So if you double click that, you can see that it's actually bigger than our terrain itself. So what you need to do is, where it says Plane 01, click on it and press delete and then continue. And then double click on Bridge again, it will zoom in a bit more. So we need to change the scale over here. So let's change our scale to, I think it should need to be set to about 0.1, 0.1 and 0.1. Okay, so we're looking better. So now let's change our position to 0, 0, 0. You'll notice it's starting to look about in the right place. So let's position it where you want. About there, I think. Let's lift it up a touch. Okay, so then we just need to change the scale a little more. So let's change the scale to, let's see, definitely on the Z or Z, I think. I think we need to change that to about 0.8. Ooh, 0.08, sorry. Let's lift it up out the ground. Move it across a bit. Okay, so I think ideally I just need to lower this little bit of terrain just here. So play around a little. Take the opacity down to about 13. Brush size needs to go down a touch, and then just lower ever so slightly. Okay, there we go. So now we've managed to get our bridge to fit in quite nicely. So just quickly scan around the bridge, make sure there's no glitches like that just there. And then piece by piece, you can quickly just change your brush size, change your opacity, and just quickly get rid of all the bits sticking up there. And if need be, you can raise, but I don't think we need to. That's fine. Okay, so now we have our model bridge in over our water. Next thing you need to do is we need to make this bridge so we can walk on it. As if we press play right now and head over to our bridge, you can see that we just walk straight through it. So we need to put a bit of collision on it. We need to fix this just here. As you notice when we press play, we kind of saw underneath. So in fact, before we do anything, let's fix that little problem we had. So we just need to raise the terrain just here. So let's quickly do that now. Nice and easy. Let's change the brush size to about 4. Change the opacity as well, I think. I think we need to change... In fact, we'll keep it as about 10. We'll change the brush size to about 10 as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the terrain above the bridge level, just there, as it makes it easier now, excuse me, to lower it. So change the brush size to 1, keep opacity at 10, and then let's just lower all the little bits here. So I don't want to take too much time being precise. Like I say, I don't think it's really worth it in a tutorial, because you guys have the time to actually put things right. I don't. So I'm just going to... Oops. We just need to raise it a little bit. Just here. We need to change the opacity to, let's just put it to 2. And then, oops, we just need to lower it just here. Okay, so that'll do for now. You can be a bit more precise if you wish. So yes, we need to make this, oops, so as we can actually walk on it. Really simple. What you need to do is go down here, or make sure you have your bridge. Tell you what. Now should we do it on tube? Yes. Okay, so if we go on tube 01 just here, add component, physics, and then box collider. We need to reduce the box collider. Let's see, how much do we need to reduce it by? Oops, camera's going a bit funny there. Okay, so I think we're going to need to reduce the Y scale to about 0. Oops. Sorry, my apologies. It's down here. We need to click on the wrong one there. We need to reduce it just here. So let's change this to 0 here. So about 80. So you just need to lower this number as that green line lowers a bit. So hopefully now we should be able to walk across our bridge. There we go. Okay, so we just need to lower it a tad more. So let's try changing that to, let's see, 70. Is that okay? So it's all just trial and error, really. It's just a case of trying the best you can. I mean, so what I would advise for the next tutorial is just level out all your ground here. If you don't want glitches, make sure there's no glitches. Okay, so it looks like... there we go. Okay, so you just need to keep lowering that here. So let's put it as 60. That's not quite... So we need maybe 63. Okay, so that looks like a decent size. So one more time. Up onto our bridge. Yeah, that looks about right now. So let's try walking back across. There we go. Okay, so that's our bridge sorted. You just need to sort the terrain out just around it. Okay, so finally, let's do the last thing. Let's put in a few trees. So I'm going to zoom out. And we'll carry on playing with the river next tutorial and connect it and do a few different things with it. So down here in your asset window, standard assets, environment, speed tree. So you have three. You have broadleaf, conifer and palm. So I'm going to start in the first one, broadleaf. So if you click on the folder, and then let's take this right here, this tree asset, and it's taking a bit of time. It has frozen on me. That's lovely. Unity is fantastic, isn't it? There we go. So just insert it into your scene. Place it where you want. So let's put a few of these in. Let's put another one about there. And then you can choose this one here. Let's put this one in. Just there. Give it a second again. It has it's thinking about it. There we go. And position it exactly where you want it. So I'm going to put it about there. So let's try. Oops, close that. Let's try a conifer. So I'm going to put a conifer over the other side. Just over here. It's thinking about it again. When you have this down here, things may act a little bit slower, as that basically is Unity trying to think about things and piece everything together. If you have a super fast machine, you don't need to worry about that. Okay. So that's in there. I'm going to pull this down a little into the ground. And let's see. Should we put another one in? Let's put another one in. Let's put that about there. And start putting a few trees in around. Let's put one here. Okay, so you'll notice when you do put in a tree, it says LOD 0. I won't go into that right now. I'll leave that to the next episode. It's something which is sort of important, but not too important at the moment. So let's press play. And let's have a quick look at what our game looks like. So we're starting to get somewhere now. We have our little camping village here. We have some trees all around, and we have a bridge and we have a river. So we're starting to get somewhere with how we look. That tree needs to quickly be sorted. It's floating a little. So let's just bring that down to the ground. There we go. Okay, so next episode we will let's see, what should we do next episode? We'll play around with a few more trees. We'll play around with a river, and we'll also build a fire. We may import some more assets like houses, or well, we'll see what happens. See where we go. I think it's about time we started doing a little bit of scripting as well. So I think soon enough we'll put in some objects we can collect around our world, different things like that. So I think to end this tutorial, what I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to, let's see, create an empty object. I'm going to rename it as trees, and I'm just going to bring in all these trees that we've just put in and keep it in there. It just creates a tidy hierarchy to make things easier in the long run. Okay, so we'll leave that tutorial there for now. Like I say, next episode we'll definitely build a little campfire here. We'll play around more, and we'll keep building our world up, and maybe a little bit of scripting. So thank you very much for watching this episode. Don't forget, we've got tons of Unity episodes now. There is a lot to watch, different things like Minecraft, things like building a city. You can check all them out in our other videos. And also we have started a new channel on the Retro Lookback, so if you're into retro games, check that out. So, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.